Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah and good day to all of our beloved viewers to the Voice of the Cape's YouTube page and the Voice of the Cape's Facebook page. And Alhamdulillah, it gives me great honor and privilege to continue with the Matric revision sessions for this year 2024. My name is Amir Adams, and I am just here merely to introduce all of our esteemed facilitators as they continue to assist all of our matriculants out there who are preparing for the upcoming NSC exams. Of course, this is the Matric revision sessions of the Voice of the Cape that is this year being sponsored by the Two Oceans Graduate Institute. And if you'd like to find out more details, you may contact them on their website. And of course, we will display all of the information just before the end of the session, inshallah. For now, without further ado, we are honored to be having our esteemed facilitator for today, who is none other than Mr. Ridwan Basir, who will continue with the content in preparation for EGD, that is Engineering, Graphics and Design, and of course all of the content pertaining to that paper. Without further ado, we hand over to Mr. Ridwan Basir.
Shukran Amir for your introduction. Greetings and salam alaikum to everyone, particularly those matriculants of 2024 as we prepare you for the final NSC examination. Today is very important like all other sessions, but we are looking at question number 4, and I just want to show you exactly where we are in terms of our preparation and our sessions that we have. Remember, we've gone from question 1, analytical, to solid geometry, question 2, and interpenetration. We've done last week perspective drawings, and now this week we are looking at floor plans, civil floor plans, which are civil drawings. Now, I'm going to break this up into sort of three sessions, of which we have one today, because I believe this is very important, because this particular question forms the bulk of paper 1. And when I say the bulk of paper 1 is, if you look at the mark allocation for any question 4 civil drawing, you will find that it is slightly short of 50%. So we're looking at a mark of 90 to 95, between 90 and 95, out of a question paper that has a total value of 200. So it's slightly short of 50%. So my suggestion is that if you do this really well and you understand it, and it's not really difficult, it's just a lot of work, but it's not difficult. You can actually come in with a preconceived knowledge so that you can just apply it, and you can draw maximum out of this particular question. So I break it up into 3 minute pieces, of which I'm only going to focus on civil floor plans today, to a scale of 1:50. And then hopefully next week I will continue with elevations, and then finish off the week after that with the detailed section. And if you listen very attentively to these 3, how I analyze it, how I break it up, you will be able to understand it really well, and you will be able to attain the maximum marks out of this. All right. So let me go to that particular question. So I've selected a question from the 2018 paper. So you are free to download it from the WCED or whatever Matric website, and you can practice this in accordance as to how I'm going to explain that to you. What you will find that there's a lot of information on this page, ranging from all different sorts of things. What you need to do is to understand what's happening here. And the nice part about this, it doesn't change a lot from one paper to the other. You can, like I said, go into the exam with preconceived knowledge, meaning that you can read this before the time. You can use this as study and go in before the time. And what you do in the exam is just to skim read and make sure that you understand. Today, I want to take a little bit of time just to analyze it. So I want to go through each one of these, what pertains to the floor plan. And when I say the floor plan, the focus is only on this particular section here. Next week, we're going to do that section over there, which is the elevation top. And then we will move the week after that to the detail section, which is here, to a bigger scale. And very importantly, the roof will be placed on top. So let's look at the instructions, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit to make it bigger so that you can actually see what I'm reading. It's very important to read. So it says here, and I want to just focus your attention on the bulleted points here. The incomplete southeast elevation of a new house, showing the walls and the sliding door window openings and the roof notes. So here we have the incomplete southeast elevation. There you will see all the things that you need to have. Okay, that is that over there. You're going to need that for your information a little bit later, maybe not even in this drawing, but in the week after. The incomplete floor plan is bulleted point number 2. This is very important, showing the walls, positions of steps, doors, windows, fixtures, and the electrical layout. That is this that you see here. Now, there's a lot of symbols here and numbers on here, which relate to these numbers and symbols that you will see on the side, which we'll look at in a moment. Then there's a schematic diagram of the roof truss and roof notes. So that is going to be important for perhaps not for today, but for later on when we have a discussion on that particular section. So this needs to be analyzed as well. And then we have the incomplete foundation and external wall detail, which is bulleted point number 4. And there is that what we are referring to, incomplete foundation and external wall. A little bit later in we will discuss that as well. And then you have here a range of things, room designations and floor finishes. There you have room designations. There it is. What is room number 1? It's a living room with carpet on the floor finish. A bathroom with tiles is 2. 3 is going to be a hobby room, which is tiled. And then, of course, the bedroom with carpet, which you will have there. So they tell you what is in each, what is each room and what is the room floor finish there. And then you have a table of roof components, and that is going to be found right here, where you will see there's the barge boards, and then there's the fascia boards and the roof capping. That is not for now, for this week. Then there's a table of electrical symbols. This is indeed for this week. Here you can see, and they give those things to you. You were taught this in school, in EGD, the curriculum, but you don't need to study the symbols. They give it to you, but you need to know what they are used for. So there you will have, for example, single pole, double pole, triple pole, one-way switches that you will have there. Outside wall-mounted light, that is a ceiling light, that's a fluorescent light. That is your watt or electrical meter. That's your earth leakage. That's your distribution board with all the switches. And then your wall sockets, one being a switch one, with that one being just a wall. So all those things you need to know, even though they give you the symbols. And then there's the window and floor detail. The window and door detail, which is going to be this, which you see over here. And there's your sliding door. There's your normal door. There's your 2 types of windows that you will find, window 1, window 2. And they also explain to you which one is the opening, what panel is the opening side, the hinge side, the fixed panel, which, this doesn't open. And, there you can see, so the A is the opening side where the sort of the handle is, and the B is the hinge side where the 2 hinges are, which you need to open the window. And they tell you all the sizes of those as well. And then you have the table of fixtures, very important. They give it to you in the form of electrical symbols. Sorry, not electrical symbols, my apologies. In sand symbols. But you, of course, cannot draw these. As soon as you draw these over and you copy it over, you will not get any marks, because they give it to you in computerized sand symbols, but you have to know your sands, your sand symbols according to the SANS document 10143. Okay, these are SAM symbols, but they're computerized. You need to know the actual drawing symbols. So that's very important to know as well. And then it states here that the incomplete floor plan of the new house drawn to scale 1:50, and the incomplete foundation of and the break line of the detailed section drawn to scale 1:20 on page 6. So the next page, you will actually see that there, and there. I'm going to move my camera to that specific page in a moment. So what we need to do for today is to use this information on page 6 of the floor plan and draw to a first orthographic projection to scale 1:50. Remember, the scale is 1:50, which basically means that you have to take all your dimensions and you have to divide all of these dimensions by 50 if you are going to draw things in the floor plan, right? So that is why we have the scale of 1:50. So you need to draw 4.1.1, the complete floor plan, and you must add the following features: the doors and the windows, the fixtures as indicated by the abbreviations, the electrical fittings as indicated by the numbers, all latching detail. So we're only going to focus on that. We're not going to do 4.1.2 today. That we will leave for next week, because this will give us enough time now just to go through the floor plan. And I want us to really zoom in on this and make sure you understand this really well. This is one of the questions as we experience at the end of the year, which is very well answered sometimes if you are taught well in your respective schools, and where learners also attain very high marks. So we use this question as a method to propel learners in terms of their marks. Okay, so that is basically what we need to do. So what you need to also understand is, if you go to your respective drawing, and then this is the page 6 week, they give you the walls, they leave the opening of the gaps for the windows and the doors and where you need to place everything. So you need to fold this floor plan. You don't need to redraw the walls because it's already given to you. So I'm going to switch my camera. I'm going to go to my drawing and I'm going to show you how to properly draw each one of those very quickly. What you need to understand is that you need to follow this trend here, because this is the marking rubric or the assessment criteria which we use. So we mark doors and windows, properly done. We mark fixtures, we mark electrical symbols, the hatching and the labels. We're only going to do this today, but you need to properly do each one according to the SANS 10143 as I reference the symbols from that document, right? And you will easily get 37 out of 37. Let's go there, and I'm going to switch my camera quickly, and I will go to my camera, which is on my drawing desk, already set up. There you can see. I hope it's nice and big. Yeah, here we go. So as you can see here, learners, you approach this from this particular floor plan. And as I've mentioned before, on the side, you're first going to look at your doors and your windows. And that is my suggestion. Start with your doors and the window. So you need to look at, there's a door, here's a door, there's a door, and there's a little frame that you see there, right? There's a frame in each of the doors, and then there's a sliding door as well. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 doors, normal swing doors, and then we're going to do the sliding door. So how do you draw the doors? So you simply go and take your compass and you put it, in the little nuke there of your door frame, right there as I have it, right? You can see there. And then all you do is you give it a little swing like that, there, right? So if you look at this particular way of doing it, now that is the way the door, so you can put it on this side here, and then the door extends a little bit bigger because that is where the hinge is. So learners put it in this little nuke there, and then they get that, and then it becomes a little bit short, as you can see. So what you need to do is to literally put it on this edge here, not in that nuke. You can put it in that nuke. It will still be regarded as the swing of a door. It will be slightly shorter, and if it falls within a millimeter, you will still get the mark, but preferably on this edge here, because that is where the hinge is actually. So you just swing it there, and I'm going to do the others as well while I'm at it. This is the swing of the door. Remember, it can't swing this way. because you can't go past the frame. It has to go this way. Alternatively, best practice if you do it that way there. Right? Like I say, if you take it in the little frame there, that will suffice as well because it will still fall within the millimeter range. And then here, I'm going to take that on that specific corner there, do the door swing like that. And there are my 3 swing doors. All I have to do now is to take my set square and I can just draw a dark line right there. It doesn't have to be a double line, just a dark line like that, one like that, and right there. And boom, there I have my 3 doors perfectly done. That will give you half a mark for the swing, half a mark for my line here. As you can see there, half a mark, half a mark, half a mark. That will give you 3 marks easily. If you look at the bottom, right at the bottom, in this space here, you are going to see that I have to fit in my sliding door. Now, you have to fit in the sliding door because the gap is there already. Now, very importantly, if I must just show you, there's an outside line. You need to get 3 lines. And you don't even have to measure. I'm just going to make 3 dots there. Right, 3 dots there. And I'm going to do line number 1. Right, if your pencil is very sharp, line number 2 and line number 3. There are 3 lines that I've drawn. I now measure what is the half of that. The half of 34 is 17. I'm going to dot my 17, and then all I have to do is, if that is my halfway point, I just need to sort of draw a line there and a line there. Right? So the staggered lines here, and I want to just sort of zoom in on what I've done, is that if you have the gap here, right? I want to show you, if I have the gap here, I drew 3 lines like that there. That's what's my halfway. That's my halfway. And I drew staggered sections here, of which this here is my 1 door, and that there is my other sliding door. Right? Very important. You get marks for the staggered. You get mark for the center line. I did not draw this line at the end of my wall here. This line is given. My 3 lines would form right in the middle there with my staggered points, of which that is my halfway. And then I just need to show with an arrow that either with that one opens, so I can put my arrow there, that one opens that way, depending on where my arrow is in my given. So that is basically what I drew here, which is obviously very small, but I've shown you a zoomed in version of that. Don't forget to put in the arrow there as well. So I've completed my doors. Now I'm going to go to my windows. Now you will see that if I look at my windows on this drawing, there's window 2, window 1, window 1. So I've got a few windows here which I need to put in, which is window 1. This is window, that's window 1, and that's window 1. You can see the gap is the same, and then window 2 is the smaller one. I will have to go to my window 1 here and look at that dimension over there. Right? This is 1,500, and that's 800. If I divide this by 50, which I need to do, I'm going to get 30 here, right? And I'm going to get 16 there if I divide it by 50. And now that scale down dimension of 30 and 60, I'm going to apply here. So I'm going to take my ruler, and I want you to watch very carefully now how I do. In fact, I want to zoom in a little bit so that you can see clearly how that window is done. So the gap is bigger than the 16. So anywhere in that gap, I can dot 0 and 16, right? 2 markers, 0 and 16. And then I take my T-square, and then I open up the one side, and I extend my line slightly beyond by a millimeter, up to 2 millimeters beyond the wall. You see? And I'm going to zoom in again, and then I'm going to draw a line like that there. Then I will just continue by drawing my wall against the window, and then inside the middle of the wall, I'm going to draw two thin lines, which basically represent the window frame, right? Let me show you again if you have missed it. This one is window 1, so that's 30. So there, I'm going to put my 30 inside that gap there. You have to measure it. You can't just slide it in there. Open it up. The line protrudes slightly by 1 to 2 millimeters beyond the wall line. And I'm going to extend that. And then I'm going to just... Now, why is it protruding beyond? Right? Because that represents the window sill of my window. And then my two lines perfectly in the middle there. Right? And I can do the same thing here at the bottom. As you can see of my screen, 30 in there. I draw my line, opening it up between my 30 points, like that. Then my windowsill is formed. I just connect my gap. I close it up like that. And then my two lines have to be perfectly inside my wall. Right? People, let me show you. Right? Here we have the gap. Right? There we have the gap. So what I said, you have, say, 16. You open it up. You open it up with your set square. Right? It is beyond the wall. That is my window sill. You close this up like that, which I've done. And then, of course, you have to put the two lines perfectly in the middle of the wall, like that. That's going to give you a mark, 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 mark. Okay? Perfectly like that. That's a perfect window. Learners have the tendency to make the mistake like this, where they sort of do that there, but they put the lines there for the windowsill. That's incorrect, because now these two must not be in line. The wall line and the window frame must not be in line. So that's going to be penalizable. Don't do that in the exam, because if there are more than one window, and then you're going to lose a mark every time you repeat that. So advice to you is to make sure that you have it as perfect as that. So I've got my doors and my windows perfectly done. I'm going to move to my fixtures, and you're going to see my fixtures are these things that you will see here. Right? These are my sanitary fixtures, and I need to have them in accordance with what has been placed here. My WC, my WB, my BT, and my SH, shower, BT, bidet, WB, wash basin, and then I have my water closet, which is my toilet. Those symbols will be given here, right? So you will see it's all in the bathroom. There's a shower there. There's my bidet. There's my water closet. There's my wash basin, all next to one another, and it must be drawn in close proximity against the wall. Let me show you what I do. I go to here, and you need to know your symbols. I just want to make it a little bit clearer. You need to know your symbols. What is the symbols according to SANS, not these one. So you need to know that, and you maybe need to draw it somewhere. And what you need to do is you need to take these dimensions here of the symbols and then scale it down to 1:15. Now, I've done that already because I'm now in the exam, and there I've done it. There's my shower. There's my bidet. There is my wash basin. That is my water closet. And I've already scaled it down. So all I need to do is to take that and place it in this space over here. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the shower. And the shower has a width of 17. So I'm going to do it in the corner here. There's my 17. I mark it there. I draw a faint line first, and then I have it 20 millimeters down this way, which is there. And I draw a line till there, and I darken that side there It's in the corner. I have my little trap there, and there my shower is done. I go to this side here and I start in this corner. According to my instruction, I will have my B team, which is my bidet. Now my bidet is going to be 16 along this way. So there's my 16. I draw a faint line there. I'm not going to draw it in the corner. I'm going to give a little gap in between. So you will have 10 millimeters, which I'm just going to mark off there, 10. Right? And then I'm going to draw that. That I can darken now. Right? I have my 10. And I'm going to draw this line. And then the symbol for a bidet is, as you can see here, it's a rectangular shape within a rectangular shape. So these are all 1 millimeters inside. They don't give you that measurement, but I would advise you just to take 1 millimeter here, 1 millimeter there, on all 4 sides like that. And then you just draw a rectangular shape within that rectangular shape of 1 millimeter like that. I'm going to darken mine like that. Remember, you have to draw this very fast because of time constraints. And then you will have your trap right there. There's my bidet. I'm now going to go to my next item, which is going to be my water closet next to it here. So I'm going to have a starter line, maybe a starter line. My water closet is 10 millimeters as well. Here's my 10 millimeters. I'm going to draw a faint line. And then I'm going to have 16. It's full length. It's 16. Here's my 16. I'm going to darken that section there. And I'm going to darken the sides of my water closet, which is my toilet. And then I have the cistern section, which you see here, which is 4 millimeters. Which I'm just going to place at the back. That's the flushing unit. 4 millimeters. And there I have that in there. That's my water closet done. And the last thing is the wash basin, which is just a rectangular shape. I'm not going to put it in the corner, just next to it. I'm going to wash my hands. That's also going to be 10. And it's going to be 10 by 6. And I measure 6 out from the wall. There it is. And I'm going to just draw that like that there. Closing it down and put my little trap there. So there I've got my different components, my sanitary fixtures in the bathroom. That being SH, that being BT, that being my WC, my water closet, and that being my WB wash basin. As you can see there, neatly drawn, very fast. I'm just drawing it very roughly so that you can see, but of course, as it is, it's according to scale. That being done, I tick off my fixtures. Now I'm going to go to my electrical items. Back to my instruction page, you will see that all my electrical items are here according to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1 being my one-way switch, single pole. 2, my two-way switch, single pole. It's a two-way switch. You will see all the symbols are on here. You just need to apply them. And then I've got my fluorescent light, which is 2 by 40 watt bulb. My ceiling light I will have here, my wall-mounted light, and my switch socket outlet according to my numbers here. So I'm going to find my numbers here. Wherever the number is, I'm going to replace the number with the actual symbol. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start in this venue and work my way around. Watch carefully what I do. So if you look at the switch, two-way switch, I'm going to start here. It is in that sort of area there where I need to draw that. I like to use, you are allowed to do this freehand, but need freehand. But I like to use my circle template, my smallest circle on my circle template. And then I am just going to draw that there. And it being a two-way, I'm going to draw a line that way and a line this way. That's a two-way switch, right? Meaning there will be another one on this side over here. So I'm going to draw another two-way switch here. And you will see that it shaves against the wall. If I must just show you what happened there now. It shaves against the wall, and I will have one going that way and one going the other way. And then in the middle here, I'm going to have a fluorescent light, which I'm going to place there. And I will just draw the two ends of my fluorescent light. And very importantly, you need to label this, and you need to label this 2 times 40 watt, because you get a mark for both these. And then you will see, learners, that your cable is indicated with an arrow. Please do not put in the arrow. Do not put in an arrow. You can't even use a straight line. You can use a freehand curved line, or you can use your curve applicators, your curve stencils that you. In this case, from the ball part, not from the tentacles, from the ball part, I'm just going to connect that like that there, and then I'm going to connect that from that to the ball part of my switch there. Right, and now I'm going to go to my single pole switch here on the side here, and I'm going to do another one, and I draw a circle there. You can see my circle is in close proximity of my wall. There's a line out and a line down like that there, and then I have a wall mounted light here. So this you can draw freehand. It's a line, and then there's a cross. That's a wall mounted. And then all I do from the ball part of my switch, I just draw a curvy line. Any curve would suffice as a wire. You do get marks for the wires, etc. And then if you look at the inside here, you will also find that there is a wall socket in the space here. So a wall socket is a semicircle like that against the wall, a line out, a switch wall socket, and then the line that you will see here. And these are all in accordance with the symbols that I have here on my drawing, my instruction page. Okay, then I'm going to go to my bathroom. I will put a switch on the outside of the bathroom because that's where it's indicated. I need to draw the switch. And then my line goes like that there. And then I will have a ceiling light there. From the ball, I'm going to have to the middle of my switch will be my connection. And then I'm going to go to my hobby area where I'm going to put a switch over here. And I'm going to have my switch part with my light, which I'm putting in there. And I'm doing it freehand, and it's the way you should be able to do it if you have little time in the exam to do it very fast. My connection would suffice there. I'm also going to put in my wall socket over there. And then I go to this room over here. If you don't want to use your circle template, you're also allowed to do this freehand. And look how neatly freehand I'm doing it. Nice little circle. There's my switch. I'm going to have my ceiling mounted light there. There is my connection. Remember, it must touch, and you must draw it from the ball to the center. And then my wall socket will be again here. And there I've included all my things that I need for my electrical installation. And for every symbol that you have correct, you will get a half a mark, 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 leading up to a point of 10.5 marks for all of those. Right, two remaining, very easy. Once you have all of that, you need to look at your walls and you need to hatch it. Now, you need to take your 45-degree set square on your T-square and start at a particular corner. You're going to have two lines closely packed to one another, a gap, not too big, not too small, because it's going to take some time, but some space between, right? and draw the hatching. And this is the civil hatching that we are using. Can you see, once I've started with that gap, I will maintain that gap throughout, um, like that. I'm not going to do the whole drawing because you obviously can do that on your own. You don't do it through doors and windows, only where there's wall area. And very importantly, in this case, once you start here, it must be followed through the inside walls and right through to the outside again. 2 lines gap, 2 lines gap. If you have your space too big, it might fall short on the inside walls, and then you will lose that mark there. And the way I'm doing it now, learners, is according to the SANS 10143 document. And if you follow that sort of pattern throughout, hatching right till the end here, you will get a full 4 marks for the correct hatching done in the correct order, covering all the outside walls and the inside walls as well. And then finally, when we get to the last item, which many learners are just omitting from the drawing, which is absolutely frustrating. They even leave hatching out, which is such an important 4 marks. So please make sure that you tick as you progress throughout this particular section of the floor plan. So number 5 on our rubric for marking rubric are the labels. And the labels are given to you. I've read through it in the instruction. They are the labels. They just want you to put in where's the living area, where's the hobby room, where's the bathroom, and please tell us what's on the, an easy 4.5 marks. So all you have to do is, if this is your area here, which represents the living area, you can either just print it, printed living area like that. I'm using my ruler because it keeps my printing nice and straight. So that's my living area. And so I'm going to write there living area or living room, whatever it is. But learners, pick up that I'm using capital letters. You cannot use small letters in printing. If you use small letters or you write in cursive, we are going to minus 1 mark as a penalty for printing. So please make sure that you use capital letters. If you write there, hobby room, capital letters, and it's written horizontally. You're also allowed to write it vertically. Vertically is allowed, but you can't write it slant across the page like that. We're going to penalize you for printing, and it has to be capital letters, as I've mentioned. Okay, so you've got to put that in. I'm not going to do all of that. You also have to state whether you're putting tiles or carpet. So tiles on the floor finish. If this is your bedroom here, I'm going to print here. Anywhere in the room space, you're going to print bedroom neatly like that. And you're going to say on the bedroom floor finish, you're going to have carpet and neatly print that there. And once you have all of that, you will see that everyone is half a mark. This is obviously bathroom and there's tiles here. I'm not going to write that in, but you're obviously going to put that in. You just put that in here, bathroom. There I'm printing bathroom, and I'm going to put tiles here. So every one of these printing items here gives you half a mark. So if you count it, you will get like 8 half marks, which is 4. But then, of course, here, this is where the extra half comes in. That print here is BIC, which is bold in cupboards, and you will see that cross indicates to you that there is a built-in cupboard in the bedroom, which you also need to abbreviate there as BIC, built-in cupboards, and that will give you the 4.5 marks that you will have in your floor plan rubric. And learners, once you have all of that and you've checked it according to your rubric, you have filled in everything according to SANS, how it should be, then it will only be right that you will get a mark out of 37, which is a full mark, 37 out of 37, or if there are minor little mistakes, but you should not lose many marks from this particular floor plan that we have, because it's fairly easy. It is easy to do. You can, like I say, you can have a preconceived idea of what you're going to do in the exam when you are studying, and just go there and execute, and you will be able to see exactly how you can get a full mark complement from this. And just before we go, I just want to show you very quickly, if I'm going to just share my screen with you and just look at the marking rubric. Here we have the marking rubric. You can see here, these are the color codes of how we mark every single item. Line is a mark. If you look at the blue, that represents the sanitary fixtures. Can you see there for the crap, for that side, half a mark, half a mark. If you look at the electrical symbols, every single line is a mark. If you look at the door and the windows, look at the doors and the windows in orange, how we allocate marks here. So it's best to look at the rubric as well, so that you can see where you will be, what you will be marked on, how many marks are available for a specific component. So that will ensure you to get actually a full complement. All right, that brings us to the end of our session today. It's really been a pleasure. What we are going to do next week, grade 12, is to continue with this and just project everything up so that we can look at our elevation on top. And there I also want to just take a moment to pause and just show you exactly where the marks are going to be allocated and how you actually get to that elevation on top. Not many learners know. They make a lot of mistakes when it comes to that. So next week, inshallah, we will have a zoom in on that specific area for today. All the best for the rest of the study week. I hope this will benefit you coming to the NS exam. Shukran, Amir. I've concluded my session today. Amir, are you there?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We say Jazakallah khair and Shukran Kathir to the esteemed Mr. Ridwan Basir. And as a reminder to all of our beloved viewers to the Voice of the Cape's Facebook page and YouTube page, this is the Voice of the Cape's online matric revision program for 2024. And this year, our main sponsor is the Two Oceans Graduate Institute, an accredited online platform where you can become a primary school or a high school teacher by studying in the privacy of your own home. If you'd like to find out more information, you may contact them on their website, that is www.togi.ac.za, or you may call them on the number 021 829 7015. Once again, on behalf of our side here at the Voice of the Cape, we'd like to thank the esteemed Mr. Ridwan Basir for so beautifully facilitating today's session on all content related to engineering, graphics, and design. We hope that this greatly benefited all of those who takes up EGD and who are preparing for the NSC examinations. We thank you, Mr. Basir, for your time, and we'd like to thank you, the beloved viewers, for, of course, viewing today's session. Please like this video and ensure that on the Facebook page and the YouTube page of the Voice of the Cape, you will click on the link and forward and share this link to all of those who are preparing for the upcoming NSC examinations. There are many more sessions to come, inshallah, so please keep posted on the Voice of the Cape's social media platforms to see what sessions will be coming up next. From our side, we say shukran, jazakallah khair, wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.